Jesus Freak here, and I'm going to expand a bit on my last video, I guess. I had to mention the importance of trying to involve our students, our kids, and that I'm well aware of the First Amendment issues with trying to get back into the schools. There's a few ways around that. The first is make sure that any children's religious education programs, if they are held in the schools, in some cases we might not want to have that option. Um, might want to have them in the church instead or in the homes. But if they're in the schools, then it can't be the teachers trying to lead them. Other than that, it's fine. Well, as far as I understand, if a kid leads them, if an outsider leads them, it's not a problem. If it's, if it looks like it's endorsed by the school directly, then you got First Amendment issues. Now, I think one of the problems we've had is, we haven't had enough focus on the kids. Had a hard time growing up. And one of the problems I had, as a kid, and I was a believer, and pretty much, almost no one else in my class was. Is like, and even the teachers, like, you believe those silly old wives' tales? Like, yeah, I do. What's wrong with that? You know? But you got to get them early. You got to make sure to keep at it. Don't let up. And the kids, the students have to be aware of ways they can respond to non-believers in their classes, be they students or teachers, or even administrators. Because regardless of the proper, I don't know what you'd say, hierarchy, the way things are supposed to be, the way they are isn't as they should be. Okay, sorry, I had to force my camera to refocus. Um, but the problem is, our kids are going out into the world unprepared for a world that's out to actively destroy the faith. And they need to be ready. Now, a lady from church mentioned to me, she was driving me home because I live a bit too far to walk. She mentioned that when she was a kid that pretty much every church had some sort of once a week program for their kids, a religious education program. By the time I was that age, I wasn't aware of anyone other than the Church of Rome doing this, and I had a teacher, the special school I was at the time. She was also involved in teaching one of these programs to kids roughly my age. So for a while, I went to those classes. Now, I'm not affiliated with the Church of Rome. I think the Church of Rome is run by a liar, and the Church of Rome is driven by lies. But the idea of the CCD is what they called it, that Confraternity of Christian Doctrine, I think is what it stands for. They're the same people who are behind the official Catholic Bible, the New American Bible, which not to be confused with the New American Standard. It's a bunch of crap. But we need those weekly programs. You know what they say, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old and will not depart from it. And this is something we really need to focus on. Without exaggerating, this is like one of the most important things. We need to make sure that if they're out there in the public school system, which I mean, I'd really rather they not be, but if they are, that they're ready to take on the world, because the world's ready to take them on, and they're going to be relentless. And like I said, this is going to be, their unbelieving classmates, which, by the way, are an important mission ground for them. Their unbelieving teachers who are going to teach them things that'll make shipwreck of their faith. There's this meme going around, and science is treated like religion when, it's not meant to be that way. But they treat it like it, and they teach it like it is. And that makes shipwreck of a lot of kids' faith growing up. But, yeah, we have to be able to fight the world on every front. And this is a front where we get a full frontal assault coming at us, coming at our kids while they're impressionable. I'm not speaking this from the fact that I'm almost 40. I'm speaking this partially from the perspective that I remember what it was like in school, and, it really doesn't feel like it was all that long ago for me. And, I remember what I was up against, and I'm trying to say from my own personal experience, this is things that need to be handled. Jesus freak out.